Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, February 9th, 2024. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. You know, I love good conversation, and yesterday was a day of good conversations. I spoke with Paul Shaffer of Letterman fame on the phone for an upcoming bonus podcast, and then I had dinner with Dr. Dan Nataf from AACC. Always an enjoyable chat with Dr. Dan. Anyhow, we do have some news, so let's get into it, shall we? The Annapolis Police Department is urgently seeking the public's help in locating a missing child. SNX Nettie Ann Sims was last seen wearing a pink sweatsuit and white Adidas shoes. She has brown eyes, curly brown hair, and a light brown complexion. She's 4 years old. She's believed to be with her father, John Sims Jr., a fugitive wanted on a parole violation linked to an armed robbery in 2017. The child's grandmother, Miss Deborah Bias, may also have her. Critical details like the date and location of SNX's disappearance, description of the suspects, potential locations where they might be found. For some reason, the Annapolis Police Department did not give us any of that information. We do have a photo of SNX on eyeonannapolis.net, so please check that out and keep your eyes peeled for this child. Up in the county, a successful narcotics investigation by the Anne Arundel County Police led to a significant cash, drugs, and weapons seizure in Millersville. On February 8th, 2024, detectives executed a search warrant at a residence on Chalet Circle West, resulting in the confiscation of 41 suspected oxycodone pills, 25 grams of cocaine, 3 handguns, an extended magazine, other ammunition, a digital scale, a mobile phone, and $2,200 in cash. The suspect is a 34-year-old woman identified earlier in January. She was located away from her residence before the raid and was taken into custody. In some lighter news, the Annapolis area has a bunch of events planned this weekend. The Classic Theater of Maryland is staging an adaptation of Jane Eyre performed by Laura Rockland. The Annapolis Opera is presenting a fairy tale opera, Hansel and Gretel, in English, my kind of opera. Sunday morning at Paws at the Mall, it is the Hearts and Hounds Walk. You want to bring your leashed pup and join hundreds of other dogs walking around the mall. And be sure to stop in at Paws at the Mall for some gifts, some swag from Subaru, and a free vascular screening from the Heart Health Foundation. This is all from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., you want to head on over to my favorite event, the annual Super Bowl Lunch, which aims to raise funds for the Annapolis Lighthouse Homeless Prevention Support Center. This all goes down at the Heritage Baptist Church on Forest Drive from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And finally, although the Ravens are not in it, the Super Bowl is Sunday evening starting at 6:30 p.m. And if you are looking for a place to watch, my vote goes to Mother's Peninsula Grill in Arnold. Free and plentiful parking, 30-plus large-screen televisions scattered around the place, and the area's largest projection screen. And get this, for $35 from kickoff to the game's end, unlimited Miller Lite and Yinglings, and boneless wings. Now that's a deal. Be sure to catch our local business spotlight with Bo Bollinger from Crab Sailing, a truly remarkable facility and program that we are so lucky to have in our midst. And look for that bonus podcast a little bit later today with Paul Shaffer. Today on Canines and Crosstreks, we meet Hercules, who, unlike his name, is a little itty-bitty Yorkie. And we also talk with Dr. John Martin to discuss Heart Health Month and the Hearts and Hounds Walk at the Mall on Sunday. You want to listen to our spot now and then check out eyeonannapolis.net at noon for some irresistible photos and get all of the information on how you can adopt Hercules and get a free vascular screening. And once again, don't forget that we do have our daily newsletter that features only the top local news stories of the day. We send it out to your email inbox at 7 p.m. every night. Yes, that is 366 days this year, all without a paywall. It's perfect for keeping up with the weekend's news since we don't release a DNB on Saturday or Sunday. Here's a link right here in the show notes, and feel free to share it. And that's it. Now it's just time to say thank you for listening and putting up with us every day. I do hope that we add some value to your world, and if we do, please leave a review somewhere and tell a friend to give us a listen. We also want to thank our sponsors, Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, and Hospice of the Chesapeake. It's Friday, the weekend is here, and now it is time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, and keep shopping local. Other than that, we're going to see you on Monday. Now hang tight because George Young from DCMDVA Weather is here with the only locally forecasted weather report you will find, and of course Canines and Crosstreks, so do hang around for that. All that's coming your way in just a minute.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, February 9th. It'll be warmer today through Sunday, but then it's back to reality next week as we move into the second half of February and the last half month of meteorological winter. Look for mixed skies today with highs in the mid to upper 50s, followed by low 60s or so tomorrow, with a chance of some scattered showers, followed by another small chance for some showers on Super Bowl Sunday, with highs in the 55 to 60 degree range. As for next week, temps will drop back down to more normal levels with 40s for highs, with rain likely Monday into maybe Tuesday morning. Okay, that's it for today and this week. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day and weekend out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and X for updates throughout each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. Mac Medics is an Apple-authorized service provider. Mac Medics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Mac Medics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Mac Medics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. That can only mean one thing. We're headed to the SPCA of Anne Arundel County with Annapolis Subaru to play with the pups for this week's Canines and Crosstreks. Sponsored by Annapolis Subaru. Higher standards.
All right, the final Canines and Crosstreks before the Super Bowl, which is also the Hearts and Hounds Walk, as well as Valentine's Day.
Woohoo.
Got a
lot going on.
week coming up.
And we do have two special guests here, one that has two legs and one that has four legs.
They're both very subdued. Which one am I?
Well, one's sleeping on the table, so hopefully that's not you.
The human voice that we just heard is Dr. John Martin, who is with Heart Healthy Maryland. And you want to go to hearthealthymaryland.com to make sure that the ticker is in good shape. That'll give you a good start to where you need to go. The other one that's not pitter-pattering across the table is Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules is sleeping. I think Hercules is bored with the show, by the way.
We haven't even started yet, Hercules.
A minute and a half.
Come on now, give us a chance, okay? So, yeah, Hercules is 6.5 years old, and he's a purebred Yorkie. And he was here. He was actually temporarily, we were fostering because the owner was not feeling well. And now he's been surrendered to us. So he will be going up for adoption.
Oh, it's very nice of you guys to do that.
Yeah. And he's been a lot of fun
So, but Hercules has been here for a couple weeks because I know that you were waiting for hopefully the owners.
Yes.
To possibly see what they're going to do, whether we're going to bring him back. So you got a chance to know her a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And he is so much fun. He is a spunky little thing. And all he wants to do, he's a lap dog, 100% lap dog. So whoever is interested in a lap dog, this is the dog for you.
Or a table dog.
Yes. And he follows you around. He's on my heels everywhere. Even when I go outside, all of a sudden I turn around and there he is. But he stays close. So he bonds pretty quickly. I just think he's a fabulous dog.
What kind of houses have you been in? Family?
Any kind, because he's around dogs and cats, and he's done great with dogs and cats. And some kids were here today, and he did great with them. So.
I will say that Yorkies don't have that Chihuahua attitude.
Some do.
Well, most of the ones that I've seen don't.
Right. No, it is true, yes. But he does have a bark. He's got a loud bark.
If you want to adopt Hercules or check out some more pictures, you want to go to aacspca.org.
Has Hercules hit the web yet?
Yes. Hercules is on the web.
All right. There's probably going to be a lot of apps on Hercules.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And he's only about 4 pounds.
Don't be intimidated
very
by the
small
name,
toy size.
because he's petite.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to say
just a
you
little
hear
guy.
Hercules and you're not picturing a 4-pound dog.
Yeah.
So he's a very small toy size.
He adapts so well to strangers, too. He really
does.
takes well to new people very quickly.
Another question I have for you, John, and for those that are listening, Dr. John Martin and Kelly Brown are married. Okay, so he's got the inside scoop here. No, so how many animals would you estimate within 2 or 3 you have in your house?
You cannot do that.
Oh yeah, we just did.
We're fostering.
You know what the beauty of that is?
What?
I long ago forgot how to count.
There you go.
So I have
See?
no idea. I
He
get
just looks
confused
down and
all
he's
the
like,
time.
oh, where did you come from?
Maybe it was like over under.
And the beauty of it is they look so similar. I kind of get confused sometimes. So there's more than one.
It was like the white dog
Ignorance
thing with
is
us.
bliss.
There it is.
Ignorance is bliss. Your wife is very happy. Love it.
It's a very happy clan.
Spoken like a man who realizes he has to go home tonight.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
It's great.
Well played, sir. And I must say, John, your hair looks phenomenal today.
Well, thank you.
Are you still going to Sarah at Coastline Hair Studio?
I absolutely am.
She
I followed your lead.
She does my hair as well. She does a wonderful job.
And yours looks great too.
Oh,
Kelly.
thanks,
See?
Kelly.
Wow, does she have to actually pay for this advertisement, or does this come free?
No, this is pro bono. But I'm going to mention it when I get my haircut next time.
You should.
That's your tip.
Get a little discount.
Hey, who didn't do pro bono or who did pro bono for you was Motor Trend.
Oh.
For Subaru again. And actually, you ought to listen up on this one too, Kelly, because it's talking about the Crosstrek Wilderness.
Ooh, what they have to say?
It was a guy that had a 24, and he went out and gave it a test out in California and up the coast or something like this. And I just got a couple bits, and he was talking about the comfort. And he said, I thought it was going to be crampy, but he said, no such issue here. The miles flew by with nary a complaint from my butt or my back.
See?
When he was talking about space, he said, after a few hours of driving, I occasionally wished for a bit more space in the footwell to reposition my left foot. That was the only time this subcompact SUV actually reminded me that it was a subcompact SUV.
I mean, can we get some specifics on this guy? How tall is he?
But this is cool. He said he was going up to like Oregon or something like that, and he didn't expect it. He's a Southern California guy.
Okay.
Ran into snow.
Ooh.
He said, it never even crossed my mind that we'd run into snow, nor did it cross my mind to test out X mode snow and dirt or deep snow mud settings, or even to look up what they could do.
Just push the button and go, baby.
But it said, thankfully, neither mode was necessary.
Yeah.
Left in its default settings, the Crosstrek Wilderness, all-wheel drive, and traction control were more than sufficient to keep me feeling safe, because this was my first time driving in snow in more than a decade.
Wow.
Yeah, mine was great in the snow.
And it said, Subaru had done its job, period. That's how he ended the column.
I agree.
There you go.
I'm only disappointed in one thing in that column. He didn't mention the bling.
Yeah, my bling.
The bling on the car. The gold accents.
The gold
accents.
He missed the bling.
Yeah.
I love my bling.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Always tell who Kelly, it's Kelly driving around.
There
Your
it
bling.
is. I know. Michelle saw me this morning leaving Harbor Center.
Nice.
She's like, is that you? I said, yeah.
It's a great car. It really is a great car.
Does she let you drive it at all, John?
Yes, I occasionally get to. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because it is Valentine's Day coming up, and that's the holiday of love, and that's the whole heart thing, and it is Heart Health Month as well. There are a number of things that are going on that are surprisingly not dog related, but we do have the Hearts and Hounds Walk at the Mall this Sunday at 8 to 11, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And Paul's at the Mall is over there across from the library at the mall.
So the best entrance to come in is the Maggiano's entrance, the Maggiano's mall entrance, right between Macy's and Maggiano's. And you just come on in there and you can walk your dog and have some fun. And we're going to have some vendors there. And of course, Paul's at the Mall will be open. So
some of that fantastic Subaru swag.
That's right.
Do you think they'll let me ride one of those stuffed animal things for the walk?
I actually would pay to see that myself.
Yeah, we'll pay for it.
Wait,
we can take
better
pictures.
yet, John, what do you see if the two of them race?
Oh,
each one of them on it, and we'll have a race.
Nice. I want the unicorn.
John, you are also having free vascular screenings.
Yeah, we're hosting during Heart Month free vascular screening in a number of locations, both around this region and around the state. Heart Month, obviously, critically important that people pay attention to their heart. And so we offer these free screenings to the public. We generally screen anyone 60 and older, anyone 50 and older that has risk factors of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, or diabetes, or 40 and above with diabetes. Very painless, takes literally 10 minutes. We use simple ultrasound, and you can walk away knowing what kind of shape your blood vessels are in.
So I'm almost 40. I don't have diabetes, but I would love to know what shape my blood vessels are in.
So we could actually
let's do it.
We could do it. You know, we have the ability
do it right now.
Do we have the ability to do it?
Yes, we do, and we could actually look at yours too if you wanted to. Let me.
I'm kind of scared for that, man.
I'll let Kelly carry on the conversation while I get the device ready.
Blitz again there. Like, I'm good.
We're like, we want to know. No, we don't. I have to know. No, we don't.
Well, I know they've also got, in addition to Heart Health Month, tomorrow night at Ram's Head on Stage, there is the band called Foreplay, which comes by
they are so
every
great.
February. And that is a benefit for the Heart Health Foundation as well. And that show is at, I believe, at 8 o'clock with the doors opening at 7. And there are some tickets available. You can still get them at Ram's Head on Stage. So if you're a fan of that, I want to say 80s
the
rock,
oldies,
music,
they put on a fabulous show every
don't
single
call
year.
it oldies.
And I think
I don't
it's
like
not
you
oldies.
anymore.
Is it always at
oldies?
Ram's Head?
No, oldies to me is like
music
that
to me too.
60s and 50s.
Okay. It's not oldies.
All right, so here's my question.
What is it then? How did they describe
So
themselves?
are people usually like, do they stay like seated and at their tables, or are they getting up and dancing?
They stay seated, and then sometimes they'll get up and dance.
The aisles
It
get
just
filled up a
depends.
little bit?
Yeah, but
That's
they
my only
do put
problem
on
with
a
that
great
place
show.
sometimes.
And I
You get
believe,
up
is
and
this
dance.
the 12th year, John, that they're actually doing this for the Heart Health Foundation? Always sells out, and it's a great crowd. And you end up seeing a lot of the people come back year after year and year. And this is how they spend their Valentine's Day, which is really cool.
That's kind of neat. It's a fun band.
It really is.
It really is. You can get tickets at ramsheadonstage.com. Do some good for the Heart Health Foundation.
So we're going to do something very exciting right here.
Okay, here we go.
So I have.
Should I take my shirt all the way off, John?
This is another great tool that we use both at.
Turn your head and cough.
It's not that kind of test.
Okay.
This is a great tool. We have the butterfly ultrasound device, which actually the shelter has one as well.
We have one here in our clinic.
This is the world's first single probe whole body ultrasound system. It's ultrasound on a chip, much like your camera is now digital on your phone. This is the first ultrasound on a chip.
Wow.
It allows you to have one probe and you can scan the entire body. So we're going to uncover something that actually everyone at Subaru has wondered for a long time.
Oh, geez.
Is there actually blood flow going through the carotid artery up to Billy's brain? And we're going to solve that mystery today, right here with this test.
I got to say, John, that looks suspiciously like a taser.
Yeah, I wish I could build that
How's that feel,
feature
Billy?
into that. How does that feel? Does that feel good? How do you like that sense in your neck?
It's not bad, John.
Not bad. Oh, my goodness. And if you want to look here,
Okay, that's very cool.
we now have visual evidence for everyone to see that Billy actually does have blood flow to his brain.
Yes.
And the good news is it's actually going toward his brain,
That's good.
not from.
Which is pretty important.
So I'm just going to go up and look and see if there's any plaque. I follow it up and look for where the artery splits. Part of it goes to your face. The other part goes to your brain. And if anybody was anxious to get rid of Billy this week, they're going to be bitterly disappointed because his arteries actually look really good.
Ooh.
Yay!
It's because I take such good care of myself.
You do, see?
And I can take a quick sneak peek at his thyroid on this side. That looks pretty good as well.
All right.
Yeah, Billy, that's really good. There's your carotid artery.
Wow.
That's your thyroid right next to it. You see it sitting right there.
That's all that good food you eat, see?
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's twins.
Oh, yay.
There's a smidge. See that tiny little speck inside, just below where the artery is, that little line?
Yeah.
That's a tiny little fleck of calcium.
Okay.
So there's a smidge there.
What does that mean?
That's one cheeseburger right there in his neck.
It cannot be the drinking because you drink and eat so clean.
I know.
What is the medical definition of a smidge?
It is just a barely detectable amount. It is not uncommon if you look at the studies that we do, and the Heart Health Foundation, Dare to Care, screened almost 70,000 people now here in Anne Arundel County. About 48% of the people we test have some disease like this. This is incredibly mild and what would be considered pretty normal for somebody. I have actually more than that, so I'm ahead of you if you'd like to catch up.
You're such a one-upper, John.
Yeah, like I said, if you'd like to catch up, you can work on it. But
we'll talk about it.
You can see that's a pretty painless test. So we look at the carotid arteries.
That was super simple.
Yeah. And then we look at the aorta in the middle to see if there's a dilation of that. And then we measure the blood flow in your legs. Literally quick.
But you would have to lay on the table, just like Hercules did to do that part.
And that pretty much gives you the picture as to how the blood is flowing to all of the extremities.
Yeah, and it's a little bit, I often use the analogy, and we don't actually image your heart, but people that have plaque in these locations typically are at higher risk of having plaque in their heart. Much like if you look out the back window and it's snowing, you don't really have to run to the front of the house to see if it's snowing there, too. It's a pretty good chance that it actually
makes
is.
sense to me. All throughout the month, you've got several locations around the area.
Yeah, we've been great to have participating organizations. Chesapeake Imaging has been a great partner to us, and there's a couple of their locations, both here in Anne Arundel County and across to the Eastern Shore. Meritus Health up at Hagerstown participating with us. Calvert Health as well, down at Calvert, all offering screening throughout this special day in February.
And that is free.
It's free. Can't beat the cost.
He didn't even ask me for my insurance card, people. All right? Really is free.
I'm going to ask you for a tip later, though.
And the good news is, if by chance you don't have the opportunity to go during February, we continue to screen throughout the year, and you just have to call our number to schedule an appointment if you're one of those people.
Well, I'm going to throw that number out there. It's 410-573-9483. And you guys are based at 116 Defense Highway, which is that the tall building?
It's the one right across from the car wash.
Over there by Best Buy. Do you do the screenings right there as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and are they free throughout?
They're free always. We spend a lot of time raising money so that we can offer this free to the public.
That's fantastic.
That's
Again,
wonderful.
if you're 60 or older or 50 with any kind of health risks, you may want to give it a look. And you can check it out. You can check out this thing that looks like a taser that's not. Probably at the mall on Sunday.
We will have it there. We will be screening people to be able to do demonstrations on how we look. And if you fall into those categories, we're happy to screen you on Sunday.
Okay, so what's the next steps if Billy had more than one cheeseburger?
So if you have significant findings, what we do is we call your primary care doctor or help you get one and then let them make the decisions. We don't do any self-referrals or anything like that ourselves, but we do provide recommendations. Typically, people that have significant plaque, much more than what Billy would have.
More than a smidge.
More than just a hint of it is probably the best way you'd say. He has a little dust on the table. He doesn't have any real dirt there.
It was to be expected.
Yes. What would typically someone would consider to being on aspirin and a statin, anti-cholesterol medicine. Those would be the two things that we would typically see. You want to control your blood pressure, don't smoke, exercise regularly, and try to keep your cholesterol down.
Very cool.
Who would have thought Billy has a good heart? Who would have thought?
He's got a great heart.
I think hopefully everybody would think I have a good heart, John.
He's good to people in the community.
He is,
He's good
actually.
to the animals here.
The nice thing is when someone's heart and character is as good as his heart physically, which is great.
I
There you
love
go.
that.
Yeah, just
That's
a
why
little
it's
bit
your
of
turn
plaque.
now, John.
No, I'm too scared for that.
No,
I think we should.
I think we should too. Let's do it.
Oh, fine.
Come on.
All right.
Let's do it.
Of course, I have.
You got an ambulance on standby area.
That's right. We're good.
I do
Hey,
walk
you got a
every day. I
You
mean,
got a doctor right here just in case.
Yeah, John, my great-granddad was a heart doctor, so I've got you covered, buddy.
Or at least he stayed at a Holiday Inn last night.
Right.
Turn your head the opposite way. There you go. Looks great.
John's doing great.
Huh?
It looks great.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that shit?
Yeah.
Whoops. I guess I'll edit that out.
So this device we now have all over the world, which is kind of cool.
And just so everybody understands, he's looking at it on his phone.
Yes.
Which is
the
pretty
coolest.
cool. I mean, it's very mobile. There's no heavy equipment. There's nothing that he has to like plug in or wheel out. It's a very quick process.
Yeah, we actually, this is called the Butterfly IQ, a very revolutionary device, and it is all over the world. We have It's up on the space station, for instance, as an example.
Wow.
It's actually, there's a project called Project Neptune. It's been at the bottom of the ocean and used down there. We have it in, for instance, there's about 1,000 of these actually in Ukraine during that conflict. There's 400 or 500 that are in Gaza. We put thousands now in the developing world. We deployed 500 of these in Kenya, taught nurse midwives on how to scan, and it's had a huge impact on maternal fetal mortality. So it's really an exciting device that's changing the way people practice medicine.
That's amazing.
Not only is it just the test you did.
Yeah, so the interesting, all other ultrasound systems use something called piezoelectric crystals, basically rocks. And those are all hand-wired, and they're different size and shape to create different frequencies of the ultrasound beam as well as the shape. You use a different kind of ultrasound to scan the heart than you would a pregnant woman or the blood vessels, which we just did. And so you need different probes. If you saw a standard ultrasound machine, they roll the card in, and you'll see a number of probes hanging from there. Well, Butterfly put ultrasound on a chip. So it's a little silicon chip, just like a chip is on your phone. And because of that, we can recreate all three types of probes, linear phased and curved array, and a broad range of frequencies from 1 to this new device that's coming, 1 to 12 megahertz. So a single probe, scan the entire body, plugged into your phone, makes it incredibly versatile. And most of those systems are $25,000, $50,000. This is only $3,000. So now you have in your hand an ultrasound device. So instead of physicians using a stethoscope to evaluate you, they pull out their Butterfly and scan.
Would I buy one if I wanted one?
So
or do you have to
you have to be a healthcare
license?
professional now, but excitingly enough, I'm doing studies now with patients actually scanning themselves in the home.
Wow.
To manage their congestive heart failure. We do it obviously under a research study right now, but they do it in conjunction with their physicians. And the goal is to be able to keep people out of the emergency room and keep them out of going back in the hospital. And all of our preliminary studies show so far, even after watching a short video, that 80%, 90% of the scans they do are good enough for us to make medical decisions before you get short of breath or end up in the emergency room. And that's kind of the key to what we're trying to do.
Very cool.
But did you know that all the 2024 Subarus have wireless Apple CarPlay?
There you go.
Well, Apple,
I use it every
That is
day.
amazing. I think you just set the new record for 3+ syllable words on this show. Congratulations, John. You are a delight.
What I will say also, though, that the SPCA here at Anne Arundel County was the very first animal shelter in the entire country to have a Butterfly.
Well
and I
done.
can share that it is so less stressful for an animal to be, to do this ultrasound as opposed to what we go through. And that is you have to put the dog in the car that you don't know very well. He doesn't know, or he or she doesn't know us
Take him
very
somewhere,
well.
put him on
it's
a
very
table.
stressful ride there. You put them there. Sometimes they need to be sedated to get the x-ray done. Seriously, and they don't even notice half the time that we're doing it because they're just standing up and he just kind of goes underneath and we're able to look for bladder stones and kidney stones, all the things that, we're searching for and wondering why are they acting this way or what do they have? And obviously the cost of going and getting these x-rays done. So it's been really, really helpful.
So you have one or two people on staff that are able to...
It's John right now, and then we do have some vets that are joining in. Our former vet, he used to do a lot of them and saved us so much, stress on the animals and the staff because we get an instant answer. What's wrong with this animal? Why is she breathing that way or whatever? And obviously for upper respiratory and many other things that the dogs can get that we've found. The stones. I mean, it's something that, Billy, you could scan. You could scan Hercules right now and you'd be able to see it right on your phone.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's so fast.
It goes to show what steps the SPCA of Anne Arundel County takes to, for the health of the dogs.
Yeah.
And cats and guinea pigs and everything else that they
and rats.
and anything else
rats.
that they have either here or pets.
How's the song go? Cats and rats and elephants.
Yeah.
And sure as you're born.
Well, it's obviously very important that the pet owners are healthy first and foremost.
That's right.
Because a lot of the reasons why these animals are getting surrendered is because of
so true.
a health complication.
It is so true.
If you're able to figure it out and prevent it in a more timely manner, then you might be able to keep your.
I so appreciate you bringing that up. It's a sore subject in our house because Kelly obviously does a phenomenal job raising money for the animals, and I try desperately to raise money for humans, but she raises money at a factor of 1,000 to 1 to me. And every night you see these commercials of those poor animals that are suffering. And what I want to do is make a commercial of this poor dog, Hercules, staring at the door, waiting and waiting. And the reason Hercules is waiting is because its owner didn't come home because they had a heart attack. And so people need to care about the owners about as much as they care about
Put your oxygen mask on first, right?
It's a very symbiotic relationship between an animal and a human, that's for sure. And this has been like one of the more, well, it's obviously calm, but it's a bizarre kind of a Canines and Crosstreks.
I mean, the IQ level's definitely up, for sure.
Because Hercules is here.
Hercules is here.
I mean, if nothing else, apparently we realize that Billy and I can continue this for a couple more days.
Yeah, we're relatively healthy. Unless John's just lying to us and we'll stop recording. He'd be like, all right, guys, you got to get the doctor now.
Okay, is it off now? Now I can tell you the truth.
But again, do head over to the mall on February 11th, Sunday, for the SPCA's Hearts and Hounds Mall Walk. Bring your pup on a leash, a well-behaved pup, and join probably 100 of them.
There's more than that. It's usually a big crowd. It's a lot of fun.
Big crowd last year.
It's a lot of fun.
And, stop by Paws at the mall. I'm presuming that's where you're going to be.
Yeah, we'll be in the courtyard that's just past that. And we'll be there. Chesapeake Imaging will have some information. We'll have some other folks there as well and we'll show you some screening.
And you want to check out hearthealthymaryland.com. And again, for folks that are over 60 or 50 with any kind of health risk, get that screening. It could save your life. It likely will save your life.
We have saved thousands, actually, throughout the years. So
how many have you screened?
Almost 70,000 here in Arundel County.
Oh, my gosh. 70,000? Yeah. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
We are the largest and longest running free screening program in the country, actually in the world.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations.
Well done,
it's a very cool thing.
Yeah,
it's a very cool thing.
And if you have a smidge or just a few smidges like I do, head on over to Ramshead tomorrow night to see foreplay.
And do me a favor, as a vascular surgeon, have a few more cheeseburgers, build that plaque back up again, so I've got some work to do to clean it back out again.
God, John, here we thought you were such a good guy. You went and blew it.
But, thank you to everybody. Billy, thank you so much for... the people at Subaru for making the good cars, and we found that even
70%.
Motor Trend likes you guys, and they're a hard crowd to please, and certainly
very unbiased.
Dr. John Martin for everything you're doing for the humans, the two-legged animals, and Kelly for everything you're doing for the four-legged animals. So again, AACSPCA.org, AnnapolisSubaru.com, or HeartHealthyMaryland.com.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being with you guys today.
Thanks for coming.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.